Right now at 10, new housing reports out tonight show the start of 2016 could be the time to buy or sell a home. Neighbors in Louisa County take to social media in the search for 4 German shepherds that disappeared from the same area. But up first tonight, lawyers for the man accused of killing UVA student Hannah Graham claim investigators misled a judge in their search for evidence.
Live from the area's most experienced news team, this is NBC29 News at 10.
The legal team for the man accused of killing a University of Virginia student is recovering after a loss in court tonight.
Jesse Matthews' Capitol defender alleged that investigators misled a magistrate to get search warrants in the Hannah Graham murder investigation. Tonight, the judge disagreed. NBC29's Kat Boardman joins us in our newsroom now with the latest developments. Good evening, Kat.
Good evening, Matt and Casey. Tonight, the judge says not every single fact in an affidavit must be precisely correct. She says slight inconsistencies are understandable, especially when you think about the time pressure police were under to try to find Hannah Graham alive. Jesse Matthews' defense team says false information was used to obtain search warrants. Defense attorneys say the route police say a bloodhound took to track Hannah's path is different than what witnesses and surveillance video actually show. Lawyers say the bloodhound took them to a mulch construction pile in the Woolen Mills area. The judge points out the affidavit never says the canine identically tracked Graham's path. It says the dog successfully tracked her path.
It really should be a flat-out lie, not just an inadvertent, failed to disclose an important point. So, yes, you can get a successful outcome. You can get a suppression without proof of an outright lie, but that's a whole lot rarer.
In court today, we learned the bloodhound picked up a scent associated with fear and adrenaline. The bloodhound picked up Graham's scent on the right passenger door of Matthew's car, the entrance to his Hessian Hills apartment, and a nearby dumpster. The judge also said tonight, even without the evidence of the bloodhound tracking, there was plenty of reason for probable cause. Tonight, the court also set the next date for the next preliminary hearing. That's on January 21st.
A lot coming out of that today. Kat Boardman live in our Charlottesville newsroom. Thank you, Kat.
Once Jesse Matthews gets through trial for the Hannah Graham case, he has another murder charge to fight. Trial is set for October in the death of Virginia Tech student Morgan Harrington. In 2009, she disappeared following a concert at John Paul Jones Arena. Investigators believe it was Matthew who then killed her and left her remains on a southern Albemarle County farm. Matthew is already serving a life sentence for a sexual assault in Fairfax.
The first few witnesses in a Charlottesville man's murder trial describe a bloody, chaotic scene inside a crowded club where the victim was celebrating his birthday. 20-year-old Tanique Turner is on trial for first-degree murder in connection with the stabbing death of Antonio Washington. It happened in May of 2014. 5 witnesses, including a police officer and a bouncer who were at the Alhambra restaurant that night, took the stand today after a day-long jury selection. Prosecutors say Washington got into a fight with another man inside that restaurant. That's when they say Turner got involved and stabbed Washington in the heart. Turner's defense attorneys argue he picked up the knife and swung it in self-defense during the scuffle. Turner is also accused of shooting at 3 people inside a car outside that party after the stabbing. His trial is scheduled to continue through Thursday.
A woman wanted by Waynesboro police for fraud is behind bars without bond tonight. 49-year-old Mary Herring faces 9 fraud-related felony charges in Waynesboro. She was arrested when she went to meet with her probation officer this morning. Investigators say Herring stole checks from a family member and used them to get $1,000.
A Waynesboro man is behind bars tonight after police say a property dispute turned into an armed showdown. 52-year-old Robert Van Fossen faces 3 charges, including assault and brandishing a firearm. Waynesboro police say Van Fossen pointed a rifle at another man during an argument outside a home on South Oak Lane Sunday afternoon. Officers had to use physical force to arrest Van Fossen. Tonight he's held at Middle River Regional Jail on a $1,500 bond.
We're going to pack some weather into an action-filled Tuesday, all ahead of an approaching Arctic front. Tomorrow, we're going to have the winds pick up, and during the afternoon, there will be some scattered snow and or rain snow showers, and then that Arctic air really settles in here tomorrow night and into our Wednesday. As far as temperatures today, obviously much cooler than what we saw yesterday. Temperatures really in the 30s to a few low 40s. 30 right now in downtown Charlottesville, 28 Louisa, 24 Stanton, and 26 in Harrisonburg. The winds are fairly light. That's a big difference from earlier today. Skies are still mostly clear. It'll be late tonight in the overnight period, at least some increase in cloudiness, but we're tracking a quick moving clipper. The heart of the storm is going to stay to our north, but it will drag a cold front through here by tomorrow afternoon, and we will feel the effects of that. So southwesterly winds are going to drive temperatures up into the low and middle 40s. Those numbers will fall during the afternoon with some scattered rain and or snow showers. I'll have more on our Tuesday and midweek forecast when I join you a bit later. Casey?
Sounds good. Thank you, Eric. Covering Virginia tonight, Virginia lawmakers are heading to Richmond for the start of the session this week. Today, House Democrats outlined their goals. Led by Charlottesville's Delegate David Toscano, the House Minority Leader, Democrats shared their vision today ahead of the 2016 legislative session. They're repackaging the long-shot push for Medicaid expansion as well as voting issues. When asked how Democrats plan to convince the GOP to get on their side, Toscano struck an optimistic tone.
We know that everybody who's been elected to office here, Republican and Democrat, believes strongly in serving their constituents and making sure their constituents are protected.
The Democratic governor and some in his party have offered a new way to expand Medicaid this session. Some propose a provider assessment tax on hospitals, which could then trigger matching federal funds. Session officially begins on Wednesday and is scheduled to go through the first 2 weeks of March.
A Suffolk auto mechanic won a $1 million prize in this weekend's record Powerball drawing. The Virginia Lottery says one of 3 tickets that Matthew Brewer bought for Saturday's drawing matched the first 5 numbers. Nobody else got all 6 numbers right either, myself included.
Yeah,
You didn't get it
me
either?
either.
No. That means the jackpot for Wednesday's big Powerball drawing is expected to reach $1.4 billion. Brewer's ticket was one of 28 nationwide and the only one in Virginia to win that $1 million prize. He should call us, I think.
He should, yeah. I would appreciate that. Well, pet owners in Louisa and eastern Albemarle counties are taking to social media to find their missing dogs. Within the last week, 4 German Shepherds in the area have gone missing. Now their owners are spreading the word via Facebook and trying to figure out whether this is simply a coincidence or whether something more sinister is going on.
That after we started looking on Facebook and missing animals, we started noticing more German Shepherds were missing in the area. So then we really got suspicious on that, that the dog was actually taken.
Now, according to comments on our Facebook page tonight, 2 of the 4 dogs have now been returned. Louisa County Animal Control says the best thing to do is call your local animal shelter. They're the ones in charge of all lost and found pets.
People in one Charlottesville neighborhood say speeding drivers are putting lives in danger, and they're going to do something about it. They are hoping to make drivers hit the brakes on Locust Avenue. So tonight at a meeting, the city's chief traffic engineer reviewed several plans with people from the Martha Jefferson Neighborhood Association. Each of the 3 short-term designs would narrow the traffic lanes to force drivers to slow down.
Generally, anything that narrows a street a little bit in the eyes of the motorist is going to make that motorist want to take the street more slowly, with or without the presence of a police officer who's going to give that person a ticket. And most of the proposals have something of that character in it.
Neighbors hope the city will move forward quickly with a traffic plan to make the area safer for families who live around Locust Avenue.
It looks like now could be a good time to buy or sell a home. 2015 marked the 4th consecutive rise in home sales in the greater Charlottesville area. That's according to the year-end market report from the Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors. Sales are up about 10% from last year and inventory is down. The median sales price held steady around $270,000.
It's healthy when the market stays steady or increases slowly. You don't want the market to go up too quickly because then we may end up in the same situation we were in before. So it's really good for the market.
Realtors say low inventory and rising interest rates will be 2 challenges going into 2016. Well, neighbors in Fluvanna County are lending a helping hand to people in need.
Yeah, this all started with just a handful of people on Facebook. It now reaches hundreds more. NBC29's Delia D'Ambra shares the story.
I had a job. My vehicle broke down. I lost my job because I couldn't get to work.
Food, diapers, rides, company.
These are the kinds of needs Fluco Helping Hands takes care of.
I don't care what your life is, but if you need something for your children, for your baby, you're going to have it. We will find a way to get it to you.
A few months into hosting the private group page,
It kind of just blew up.
they now have almost 900 members.
Our stove was broke. So not only did she get the food for us, she found somebody who had a stove, got in contact with them, and said, hey, I've got this family who needs a stove. Are you willing to donate? They said, yeah.
It's amazing. It makes you feel, as I said, like I've said it so many times, I feel like I can sleep well at night just knowing that like our community is so supportive of one another.
Talbert and Yowell made the page anonymous. Anyone in need messages them and they post the request.
You know, it's embarrassing because you don't want that stigma that people will attach to you. So to be able to find a group of compassionate individuals who are not going to judge and help, you know, teach me to be proactive for myself was just, it was a blessing and it was amazing.
They know that this blessing was provided by somebody in their own community who loved them enough to give of themselves.
I was in tears. And I still get that way because somebody helped me. So I know there's other people out there that need the help.
Delia D'Ambra, NBC 29 HD News.
The Fluco's Helping Hands page is only for people in Fluvanna County, but they hope other counties will create their own pages just like it as a way to spread the good work.
A new class session is about to begin for those looking to gain American citizenship. Starting tomorrow, literacy volunteers of Charlottesville-Albemarle will be offering Citizenship Prep classes. Literacy volunteers partnered with the International Rescue Committee in Charlottesville to offer these services. Those who live in the United States legally but are just not yet citizens will learn how to prepare for the citizenship interview and test.
Being a legal permanent resident is supposed to be a step on the path to citizenship. Of course, that's what our government is hoping, that people will become citizens and vote and participate in our democracy.
The first class tomorrow will be held at Albemarle County's Office of Adult Education from 6:30 to 8:30. There's still time to call literacy volunteers or the International Rescue Committee to register.
The music world is mourning a legend tonight. David Bowie was known for his unique performances and style, like the red mullet with the eye patch.
Oh yeah, not many people could pull it off like David. Now his latest album is #1 on iTunes, and 3 of his others are in the top 10 tonight. Coming up, a look back at the life and the legacy of David Bowie.